July 15th, 2026. So basically what I'm telling you is that we have our daily momentum, and we use that as our foundational bias. And then we go to our 1 hour, and we wait for the 1 hour momentum, which is normally described with a MACD indicator, but you can use other ones out there as well. But we wait for the 1 hour to flip in the direction of the daily bias. So if the daily bias is down, which it is right now, then we wait for the 1 hour to flip to the downside, and then we go to the 15-minute MACD and we wait for the 15-minute MACD to flip to the downside. And then once those are all aligned, we go to our 5-minute and our 2-minute data, and we wait for those to set up. Maybe it's a nice candle bouncing off of a moving average to the downside, or maybe it is just the fact that the momentum, the MACD for the 5-minute and the 2-minute, maybe it's just that the MACD is starting to align to the downside as well. So if we have everything going down, and then we wait for that final 2-minute momentum to fall to the downside, then we have a lot of things going the same direction, which can increase our chances of winning when we're doing something like using a 1-to-1 strategy, risking $1 to make $1. So we're going to go over the setups that occurred today and see what happened, and did we have some nice setups. We start with an awareness of this, the NASDAQ. We start with an awareness of the daily momentums. What's happening on a daily basis with the momentum in NASDAQ right now? Well, we're bearish because we're underneath the 20-day moving average. We're underneath the 50-day moving average. We have a red momentum territory going on right now. So we're looking for the 1 hour to flip to the downside. At the market open, we have our 1 hour right here in the bottom left, and our 1 hour has already flipped to the downside. It happened about an hour before the market opened, or rather, 4 hours before the market opened, it happened. We flipped. So by the time New York market session is opening, we're already primed, we're already ready. So now we just want to wait for the 15 to have a fresh crossover to the downside. You see that happens within the first 15 minutes. Look, the 15 has now crossed over to the downside. 15 minutes into the market. And at this time, our 5-minute momentum is strong and healthy. And then we have a realignment in momentum on our 2-minute. A realignment just meaning there was a pullback of some amount of bars and then a realignment to the downside. Why to the downside? Because everything is going down. We want everything in alignment. So this was the first entry today for you at 8:46 a.m., which would have been a 1-to-1 win. And then the next realignment happened. Just follow the MACD with your eyes. Look, we're going up. Now it's tipping down. If the momentum starts to realign to the downside during a major momentum current, like the 15 going down, the 1 hour going down, the daily, if the 2-minute MACD realigns to the downside, that means you're going to have an opportunity, an entry signal. This was also a win at 9:10. The next entry would have been right here, the realignment. This was a single or a double bar realignment. One kind of weak bar, a true pullback bar, and then a realignment bar right here. And that would have also been a 1-to-1 win. So technically we've had 3 opportunities so far, all of which have been wins. We're not even 2 hours into the market and we're already up 3R on the day. This is a tremendous day. This is a gift. And this is the kind of stuff we look for in life. So what you want to do is you want to look for realignments, and you want to gauge your probabilities with your 1 hour, with your 15, and with your 5-minute momentum. You want to gauge your probabilities with those data sets. If the 5-minute momentum is pulling away at a consistent basis, you want to not take trades. So after these first 3 trades occurred, you'll notice what? The 5-minute momentum is now pulling away. So you don't want to take any of these trades. It's pulling away. You want to wait until it starts to realign, which happens around here, around 10:55. It starts to realign. So when it starts to realign, then you go to the 2-minute and you look for nice setups, maybe a spike in volume, or maybe a candle break, or maybe we break a previous day's low like we did right here. So that was this next setup here. There was this one, which yes, it would have been a 1-to-1 win with the candle structure. Very small micro move here, but it still would have been a win. And then there was this big one here, both of which are realignment entries. And this one also would have been a win. Now, we had our first loss down here today. Why would you have skipped this trade? Well, we're super extended. We're literally at a maximum extension of these previous setups. And we're not very close to the 84 EMA. We're not very close to our fair value line. So this setup here, which was a realignment, looking, pulling up, 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 falling down right there. That was not a win. That was the first loss on the day. So had you taken all of these, you would have been up 4R on the day. Now, were there any more setups for the rest of the day? On a 2-minute chart, we're looking here. Any more setups? Do you see any more time in the day where the momentums are going the same direction? No. The rest of the day, the 1 hour momentum is still in the red. That means we're only looking for short opportunities, really. The 15-minute does not cross back down to the red the rest of the day. That means there's no more trades the rest of the day. That was the price action for July 15th. With all that being said, I'll see you in the next one. Take care now.